So, we're going to do another chapter 1 video, and this one is for conversions, which, you know, doing a direct conversion length to length is pretty easy. Density to density, that's another thing. But what if we have an exponent on our conversion? What if I need to go from a volume to a volume, or an area to another area? So in this problem, we're going from 1.4 times 10 to the 8 miles squared. I need to go to kilometers squared. This is one of the questions that's on the homework. She is number 51. So we're going to do this one together. Excuse me. So always start with what you're given and put it over 1. So I'm going to start with 1.4 times 10 to the 8 miles squared, and I'm going to put that over 1. So I need to go from miles to kilometers. We're going to do it the way I do it, and I don't like to do anything the hard way. So you will be given the conversion for miles to kilometers, which is 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers. So you will be given this conversion, so no worries there. So what I'm going to do is, my goal is to have kilometers at the top, and I'm going to have miles at the bottom, right? So let's just do one of them and see what that looks like. So 1 mile is equal to 1.609 kilometers. So let's analyze what we have done so far. We have only gotten rid of one of these miles, haven't we? Because remember, if you have x squared divided by x, going back to calculus, or going back, you know, opening up our math brains, you're going to remember that it's going to cancel out one of the x's, and you're going to have x left over, right? Same thing applies to units. So what happens is, this will cancel out only one of these miles. So I'm really canceling out only one of the miles, and I have one of them left to go. So what do I do now? Same thing. I'm going to put miles on the bottom again and kilometers at the top. So I have to do 1.609 kilometers is equal to 1 mile. What's that going to do? Going to cancel out miles, and I'm going to get rid of the rest of those miles, right? So essentially, since I had miles squared at the top here, I had to do miles at the bottom twice, right? And then what's my final unit? I'm going to have kilometer and kilometer times each other, and what's that unit? Kilometer squared. So type this into our calculator. 1.4 times 10 to the 8, and I'm going to times that by 1.609 times 1.609, and I get a very big number, but if I were to abbreviate it, I get 3.62. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I believe, times 10 to the 8. And that unit is kilometer squared. So I hope that helped out. And if this were a volume conversion, what would I have to do? You would have to do this conversion 3 times, right? So just beware of how many times you have to put the miles in the bottom to cancel out the top. So make sure that you follow along and see how many times you have to do it. We only had to do this conversion twice because we only had 2 miles to cancel out, because it was only miles squared. Hope this helped, guys.